It wasn't that I didn't believe my mom, I just didn't really understand what she was saying. I was at a transitional moment in my teenage life, about to go away to school, and she looked at me and said, "Son, this is it. You're leaving home." I said, "Mom, I'll be back. You and Dad don't have to worry. It's going to be like old times." And then, with motherly instinct and wisdom, she just began to chart out my future, not in grave detail, but in general. You're going to go from here, finish high school, then from high school to college, then college, you're going to go off to grad school, and then grad school, you'll enter into the workforce. You may or may not be ready to settle down into a serious long-term relationship such as marriage, but this is it for you in terms of being home like this. Again, I kindly rebutted saying, "No, Mom, I'm coming home. There are going to be spring breaks and summer breaks. I'll be back." And that was true to a great degree, but her truth was even larger. That was it. I had come to a point in my formative years where it was time to transition. It was time to launch. Looking back, I can only imagine the feelings that my mom felt as she shared with her son that time does not stay in any one season forever. No matter how tight or closely knit a family is, there comes a time where family members go their separate ways, move into different seasons, and it impacts the entire family. I want to ask you a question. What time is it for your family? Welcome to All in the Family. Well, recently, my wife and I visited some family friends of ours, and it was a wonderful time of reminiscing, laughing, and just catching up on life. There was a time where this couple and us, when we would get together in their living room, we would have a grand and good old time without the unique noises that were surrounding us in this present moment, without the background noise of questions and laughter and playing. What am I trying to describe? See, this current conversation has as its wonderful accented atmosphere the voices, the laughter, the sometimes crying and cooing of our children. In our decade plus friendship, we've seen our family lives evolve from young newlyweds and engaged couple entering into marriage to now children of our very own. And when I look at their kiddos and when they look at our child, we can't help but look at one another with wordless questioning like, what is time? And where has the time gone? I want to ask the same thing for you. When you look at your family life and the family lives of friends around you, have you ever asked that question? What is time? And where is it going? Time not only flies when you're having fun, time flies when you are growing and building and nurturing family. It doesn't matter what season of family life you're in. I have a sneaky suspicion that you have felt the relentless push of time moving forward. And sometimes it seems like it's going as slow as molasses, but on most days it feels as though you just can't catch yourself. And you don't have enough time in a day to accomplish it all. You don't have enough time in a month or a year to do everything that you want to do. You see, this conversation on time is essential when it comes to a conversation around family, is because we build family within the context of time. The fleeting time that we have is the arena in which we all get to do family life. Today alone, you woke up this morning. Maybe you had to prepare breakfast or lunch or dinner in advance. Somebody had to take out the trash. Take time to go, depending on where you live, and turn the car on so that it can warm up because it's cold outside. Maybe you had to make sure that homework was in line, or perhaps you had to put final touches on a presentation you have to make. And as much as you were trying to be present in the moment, your mind was ahead of you, wasn't it? You were trying to figure out scheduling and swap agenda items or responsibilities. It was your day to pick up the kids, but you're not going to be able to do it. So now it's your spouse's day or their parents' day to pick up the kiddos. And the reality is all of us feel that pressure of not really having enough time to make it all happen. Jesse Itzler, entrepreneur, says that time is undefeated. And to a great degree, he's correct. None of us have the guarantee in this life of eternity. We're all bound by the limitations of our own biological mortality. But he continues his statement by saying, the only way to defeat time is to make memories that time cannot take away. Not too long ago, I was standing in the front lawn of some neighbors. And as the sun was setting, we were talking about family life. Their adult children are in different seasons of life. And they were reflecting on the fact that there was a time when they were younger where it seemed as though this moment would really never end, but it seemed like that, and time had transitioned. And their recommendation to me was to enjoy this season of your family's life, not because subsequent seasons won't be enjoyable, they'll just be different. Make memories now is what I want to encourage you to do, family. Make memories now, not just the grand and great memories, such as family vacations to distant destinations, not just the awesome grand memories that require a lot of planning and investment of time and resources and energy, but find meaning in small moments. One of the best things we can do as families on our pathway to flourishing is to find meaning in small moments. When I look back over my life, there are definitely some awesome moments that stand out. I can still remember, almost like it was yesterday, some of the feelings come back to me as I tell the story. Our family trip going from Tampa, Florida to Atlanta, Georgia, then to North Carolina, circling back around to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and then making our way back through Atlanta to Tampa, Florida. It was an awesome memory, that family trip in our family van. We ate delicious food. We went to theme parks. It was great being in the mountains, coming from the flatlands of Florida. The elevation in the Smoky Mountains was just amazing. And going to Gatlinburg with my family, man, those memories, those moments are excellent. I can remember accompanying my mother on a work trip to Washington, D.C. She went ahead of us. And then my dad took my sisters and I on a plane to follow her. And we had a great time touring the National Mall. I remember when they said National Mall, I thought it was an actual mall with stores and shops. And then they told me it was museums and open lawns and monuments and stuff like that. D.C., by the way, is still one of my favorite cities, probably due in large part to that. I remember going to New York City as a family just prior to 2001, 9/11, probably the year before. And growing up in Florida, I used to love watching Home Alone, Lost in New York. And I saw the yellow taxis and the tall buildings and the Brooklyn Bridge and the smoke coming from the sewer. I said, this is New York. But do you know, those are just a few of the major memories that I have growing up. Most of my memory bandwidth are actually small moments, like sitting in the living room, watching Recess with my sister after school, bobbing for apples in the driveway, my mother spraying us down with the water hose on hot summer afternoons, my dad wrestling with us on the mattress, my sisters and I, mimicking my parents behind their backs with their idiosyncrasies and their unique personalities. The delicious meals like my mother's banana pudding. Thank you, Jesus. Going to the park while my mother would walk lap after lap after lap at the local track. And we would ride our bicycles and play tag and hide and go seek. Those are the small moments that make up big memories. It's in those small, seemingly granular details where family life is really formed and shaped, where the apologies are exchanged, where the celebrations take place, where the lessons are imparted and the wisdom is given. I'm talking about learning to button up your own shirt. Thanks, Mom. learning to tie a tie. Thanks, Dad. Learning to do the laundry for yourself and iron your own clothes. Also, where you find yourself as a child having an opportunity to comfort your parents in moments where they would lose loved ones of their own, siblings and parents. You see, sometimes the moments are larger than life, and those are meaningful. But in more instances than not, it's in the small moments where meaning is made, and that makes a flourishing family. So, yes, Mr. Itzler is correct. Time is undefeated, but the only way to defeat time is to make some memories that time can't take away. Don't wait to the big moments. Find meaning in the small moments because it's all in the family. Listen, friends, it's been great spending some time with you today. Let's continue to pray for our families, invest in our families, affirming each family member's contribution, and finding wonderful, meaningful moments in small moments of life. I can't wait to see you next time. Until then, like, share, subscribe. Let other families know that flourishing is possible as we keep it all in the family. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.